Hey movie freaks, welcome back to my channel. So as you can tell from the title, this is going to be my top, I would say, like gangster hood movies. Now this is of course not all of them, but but this is my favorites. They're not in any particular order as my favorites, but I did do them in order as their release year. So of course we're gonna start with the 1972 original Godfather. This was directed by Francis Ford Coppola and it stars Marlon Brando, Al Pacino, and Robert Duvall. I only watched the first one. I'm gonna be completely honest. I haven't watched the sequels to it, but the first one I did really enjoy. It is a bit long, but that's okay. That's, you know, to be expected from those type of films. So next we have on here is 1983 Scarface, and this one's directed by Brian De Palma, and it stars Al Pacino, Michelle Pfeiffer, and what's his name? Stephen Bauer. Now this movie never gets old. I mean, you can watch it all the time whenever it comes on, or when you have it on Vudu or anything like that. It's enjoyable as the same as the first time you watched it. So my kids are being annoying. The joys of the coronavirus. Anyways, next one we have here is Colors, which came out in 1988. That one is directed by Dennis Hopper, has Sean Penn, Robert Duvall, and Don Cheadle. I'm not sure if I said that correctly. This movie kind of reminds me of The Watch, and I was thinking about putting The Watch on my list, but I feel like it didn't focus too much on that, but Colors did, so that's why it's on my list. So next one I have came out the same year, 1988, and it was Stand and Deliver. This one was directed by Edward James Olmos, and it was directed by Ramon Menendez, and it starred Edward James Olmos and Lou Diamond. I like this movie because the teacher is sincerely concerned about his students and he's not afraid of them at all, and it does have its comedy in it, and I think he does accomplish saving one student, if I'm correct. I only watched it once a long time ago, so that's that one. And we have a classic on here. It's Goodfellas. It was directed by Martin Scorsese. That one came out in 1990. Stars Ray Liotta, Robert De Niro, and Joe Pesci. This movie is the best. We can watch this movie so many times and never get sick of it. Just like Scarface. It has that rewatchable value that a lot of movies don't have anymore. And next we have up is 1991's Boys in the Hood. That one is directed by John Singleton, stars Ice Cube, Cuba Gooding Jr., and Morris Chestnut. Gosh. Morris Chestnut, sorry. And this one is your typical, you know, gangster hood movie. Ice Cube in this movie, he is basically the thug of the family, and the brother, you know, he's involved in it, but I mean, he's around it but not involved in it, and he's gonna go to college. I think he was gonna play football, right? Have you seen that movie?
What?
In Boys in the Hood.
What?
The brother that gets...
gets shot?
It's not gonna spoil it because I'm pretty sure everybody's seen it. Yeah, the one that gets...
Oh yeah, who's gonna go to football?
Football, yeah. And I think his girlfriend was pregnant, right?
I don't remember.
I think I'm getting it confused, but I think that's what it is. If you guys know, leave it down below because I think that's what it was. Next one is American Me. That one came out in 1992. and is directed by Edward James Olmos. This movie is a great depiction of the Latin gangs. It is very sad and also true. It kind of makes you think about it, get your wheels thinking. Get your wheels thinking. Get your wheels thinking. It gets your wheels turning on that aspect. Now the next one is one of my favorite movies. This one came out in '92 and it's Blood In and Blood Out. This one was directed by Taylor Hackford and it stars Benjamin Pratt, Damien Chapa, and Jesse Borrego. This movie is just the same as Goodfellas and Scarface. We can watch this movie over and over and we will never get tired of it. I don't think I would ever get tired of it. I've loved the story. I love how you grow with the family over time. And it's just a great movie. The next one is one that I think a lot of people don't know about, and I think it should be talked about more. This one came out also in '93. It's called The Bronx Tale. This one is directed and also stars in by Robert De Niro. It has, of course, him in it, and Chaz Palminteri, Joe Pesci, and Lilo, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, Lilo Brancato Jr. In this movie, surprisingly, Robert De Niro is not the gangster of the, I would say, clan. He's not the gangster. He's more so the father of the son that gets involved with that kind of stuff. Next we have 1993's Mi Vida Loca. This one it concentrates more on the girl gangs and not the men. And it also stars real life gangsters from California, from LA. Allison Anders, she thought that would be a good idea to, pluck some out of the hood and put them in the movie to make it seem more realistic. This one stars Angel Aviles, Sadie Lopez, Jacob Vargas, and Jesse Borrego again. I'll try to insert pictures of each one of these because I do have most of them, so I'll try to insert them. Next one is one of my favorites as well. It is Mi Familia. Mi Familia. This one came out in '95. This was directed by Gregory Nava and it stars Isai Morales, Jimmy Smits, Jennifer Lopez, Edward James Olmos. This one is an amazing movie and I don't hear a lot of people talk about it. I love how, like I said with Blood In and Blood Out, you can grow with the family, and it does seem a little bit long because it does have its different timelines, but the story is just as good as it is from when the movie starts to where it ends. Next one is 1995's Casino, again directed by Martin Scorsese. This one stars Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, and Sharon Tate. This one, I mean, it's not so like in the hoods of LA or whatever. It's actually in Las Vegas, as you can tell from the title, Casino. Basically, Robert De Niro marries Sharon Tate and stuff goes down and his inner gangster comes out. Next one is 1996 Friday. Friday is a super fun movie. That one is directed by F. Gary Cray. It stars Ice Cube, Chris Tucker, and the late John Witherspoon. This movie is super fun. I like the second one more because of just he's so out of his element. But the first one is also fun because he actually gets, I mean, not pushed in to what he does, but Stop. But in the second one, you know, it goes further than that. But I won't say too much about that. Now, next one, I don't hear a lot of people talk about at all. It's 1997's 187. This one's directed by Kevin Reynolds, and it stars Samuel Jackson and Clifton Collins Jr. Stop. Stop. Basically, this one kind of reminds me of Stand and Deliver. It has the teacher that he's a dedicated teacher, and he gets attacked by a student, and he is forced to basically be a substitute, and gets put into that same element where he's scared most of the time being in that school because of the gangbangers and everything that's in it. So next one is 2001's Training Day. That one is directed by, I'm not sure how to say this name, Antoni Fuqua. I don't know how to say that. But it stars Denzel Washington, Eva Mendes, and Ethan Hawke. This one's kind of like the Good Cop, Bad Cop. And I'm pretty sure everybody's seen that movie, so I won't go too much into it. Now another one is, which is going to be my last one. It is 8 Mile, directed by Curtis Hanson. Stars Eminem, Brittany Murphy, Mekhi Phifer. Actually, this isn't the last one, I'm sorry. Mekhi Phifer. And I really enjoy this movie. I think it has good rewatchability. You know, you might have to wait a little bit to rewatch it again, but it is still a good movie, and I enjoy all the music. The story's good, and I love how he kind of incorporates how he grew up in the film. Now, last but not least, this is a foreign film, and this is a great movie. I don't hear anybody talk about it. I don't remember where or when I saw this movie, but it is a amazing movie. I love the story. It's Sin Nombre, without a name, basically translated. That one came out in 2009, and it is directed by Cary Joji Fukunaga, and it stars Harold Torres, Paulina Gaetan, and Edgar Flores. Now, this is basically, it follows a young man who's in the Salvatrucha, which is a Salvadorian gang. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have heard of this movie, and that gang is pretty ruthless. So basically, him and this girl who is migrating to, I think, Mexico or the United States, they meet on a train. He is actually escaping from the Salvatrucha, and they meet. He really isn't that into being in it anymore, but he feels like he has to, and so he kind of betrays the gang and is on the run, and she gets involved with it because she's basically with him. So
I'm Gangster. Ow.
So anyways, that is it for my top gangster hood movies. If you guys agree with these, leave a thumbs up. If you have any that you think that I should have added, you can leave them down below. Also remember to like, comment, and subscribe. That way you can be updated when I do upload new videos. And you also have to click on the bell, or you won't get updated sometimes. So yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.